Yeah, hello everybody. So this is the point where we left our last lecture when we talk about the CSS animation using the HTML and CSS only, no JavaScript involved. So if we see that, I mean, we have applied the background change as well as the transform. We are rotating, so it is rotating itself and as well as changing the background color of that div, which is of the size 100 pixels and 100 pixels. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is this one. So this is again, as you know, that we are studying the Bootstrap styling, Bootstrap framework for the CSS. So they also design the styles for the forms, stacked forms, all textual input, and the text area elements with the dot form control class and get proper styling. So they have defined the styles for the different type of the input fields, and then they can appropriately style those things. So here are an example. So if you look at here, we are putting everything inside the form, and inside the form we have an action. It means that, remember that if we want, when we click on the submit button here, which is this one, we will that will open automatically or send these information from these input fields to this page for the processing. So then we have the what you can say, the div. So here we are actually defining certain the styles which actually make that this specific input field is more like, the size of the page, and then so that is the style which we are defining it here. And then inside we are saying label, it is a form dash label, and then you can see that it is coming as an email. And then if you look at that, we did not put any kind of the br here. Remember when we are designing the styles, we when we are designing the form, then we put a label and then we put a br between the label and the input so that they go into the new line. But here we are not putting it, so because this form label make it more like a block level element, and then it is not appearing the same line. And then we have the this label is for the email. Okay, and then we have the type, id is email, type is email. Type is something which tell us that it will what is the type of the information that we are expecting in this specific input field. Okay, and then we applying the style here. This is the form control, and then it will become something like this. And then we also have placeholder. This placeholder is actually coming here. This placeholder is coming at this place. And then we have names equal to email. And remember that I told you that if you don't specify the name property, then it will not be sent to the user from the client side to the server side if we are using the default submit system. But yes, if we are submitting the things from our JavaScript file, then of course we can access these information and can send it. But by default, if you are submitting through the submit button, then this information without the name property, they are not transferred or not sent. Data is not sent to the server. The same thing is here as well for the second one, where we are asking the password. Then we also have this checkbox, remember me or something. Okay, so it will, the value will be true or false, and then we can click on the submit button. So this is an example of the form where we have applied the styling from the Bootstrap. For the label, we have a form dash label. For the input field, we have a form dash control, and then we have the for the input field, which is of the type like, the checkbox or the radio button, we have a form dash check input, or maybe we have form dash radio dot in dash input. So and then accordingly it apply those specific styles for that one. So again, if you look at that, we are putting that label, and then inside the label we are putting the input field, and then remember me is coming after it. So that's why it is the first, it has the checkbox, and then it has the remember me. Here the what you can say, the style for the text area. Again, we are applying the style for the text form control. And then we also have telling that how much rows we want to display, what is the id of this one, and what is the name of that specific input field. We also put the our elements or our input fields into the row, the grid system, rows and columns. So here we are putting everything inside the form. Then we are putting everything inside a row, and then inside the row we have a column. First column which contains the input field, and then second column which also contains the input field. So this is another way. Rather than we are putting the label, we are just placing these placeholders which are coming here, and this placeholder is coming here. So we don't need to specify the label, but we are putting the fields into a more tabular form or more grid style form. Okay, so we have rows and columns that we have used here. Then we also have we can make the control large or small or the normal. So if you look at that form control large, okay, so that make it more larger text size. And if we say normal, then it is a normal input. And then if we say form control dash small, so it will automatically become smaller as compared to the normal or the larger one. So this is also a possibility. Based on our screen size, we can try to reduce the size, the font size or the size of that input field. We can also have disabled or enabled. Okay, so disabled mean that we cannot interact with this one. We can't even select this text. But if it's a read only, we can bring our cursor and select these information and copy and do things. But if it's a disabled, even we cannot select these informations. So this is the difference between. But if you look at visually, there doesn't make any difference between that. The interaction that the user can have with that text or the information inside that field is a difference between the disabled and the read only. Any questions? So do you understand the difference between read only and disabled? Have you understand the difference between the disabled input field and the read only? Yes, no, everybody sleeping?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor. Okay, that's good. Finally I got some responses. Okay. So disabled and read only. Okay, we talk about that. Then again, just like in the HTML, we also have the styles. We have the input styles where we say type is equal to color. Whenever we are putting this one, it will show me this. The when I click on it on the page, it will show me only this part. Okay, and then when I click on this, it will open up this pop up window where I can select the uh, colors, and then I can also give the RGB values if I wanted to, RGB values, so that we can specify the color that we want to select for that. Okay. Then we also have these select, and then again the class is class select form dash select, and then we have option 1 2 3, and then we can also make that multiple. I mean, we can put the multiple as well. Remember that if we want to select multiple options out of it, then we can do that. So we can the same what you can styles or the things can be applied that we have used in the simple HTML file, okay, without any styling. But definitely when we apply the bootstrap styling, it means that it will have a different visual output as compared to the simple select. Then we also have can based on the screen size, we can also apply those styling. So if it is a small screen, apply this style. If it's a large screen, then apply that style. Then we have the class was validate. So we say class is equal to was dash validated. So we are applying certain validation on the forms in the input field. So we say was validated, and then in the input field, what we need to do here. So we need to say what we are saying with this field is required. Okay. So if this input field, which is a username, is not given, then it will, if we try to go out of that input field, then it will show you something like that. I mean, you need to provide these information. So it will maybe turn the borders color to red, and then you show you this specific valid mean that if the value is given, okay, if the value is given, then it will show you that the feedback is valid, and then turn that specific field green colored border or something like that. And then if it is invalid, then it will tell you, it will show you this information, that you need to fill the information inside it. So here is an example. It is an invalid form. I mean, we didn't put anything inside. So look at that. It show you icon here, that is means something is missing here. Then the color, border color, become red, and then it will give you, it show you this specific information that you need to fill those information. But as soon as we put some information inside this text field, then it will turn into like this. So you can see that the difference. If it is an invalid, the validation is not passed, then it will show you something like this, which is highlighted in the red color, and then also show you the feedback that you need to give some informations. And if it is a valid, the validation has been successful, then it will show you a valid, and then it also, so you can apply these kind of a validations on the form. And on the client side, you don't need to write the JavaScript code. And then definitely these kind of the what you can see, that these behaviors, they are coming from the Bootstrap JavaScript file, which we need to connect with our HTML file. Okay, and definitely in the practical part, I will show you how we can do that. We also have the styles for the checkboxes, radio, toggle buttons, range, input groups, and the floating labels. So they are also available over there. And we also have grids and templates. Grids, it means that we are talking about the rows and columns. We can arrange our elements inside the rows and columns, and then we also have some templates. So all these have been given inside the that Bootstrap styling. And where I can find these information. So let me quickly jump to my uh, slides. Where are my slides here? Yeah, I will just escape. I don't want to finish. So now let me quickly, I want to make a new window here. It is coming on my other. So here I can just simply say Bootstrap. When I put that one, so it will open up the Bootstrap. When I click on that, so look, it is say that you want to get this Bootstrap. So read the documentation. You can also download. When you click on the download, it will go to take you to download. So you want to see compiled CSS, GSS, or you want to download the source code, and then it also give you the links. The links that you can put in your page to connect using the CDN. So we will go with the download part. Okay, so we will download the compiled CSS. So we download that one, and it is asking me where you want to put it. Let me put it inside our IS here. Okay, we are putting inside our desktop where we have the IS. So here, if you look at that, I have this. So now what I need to do, I need to unzip that one first. So I will unzip. Okay, where is the extract all? And then I will just simply say that I want to extract, in this folder, and then put at the extract. So now you can see that I have these files. So again, inside this folder, I have two different folders. One is a CSS folder, and here you have the CSS file. Okay, so we will copy this file. Let me first, okay, we have these files. Okay, and then we will do, then we also have the JavaScript file. And then again, if you look at that, we have a bootstrap.js file, we have bootstrap.min.js file. So what is the difference with bootstrap.js file? It is a simple file. If we open it, we can read the things very easily in an appropriate form. But min.js, it will try to remove all the white spaces, extra white spaces, new lines, and try to put everything in one line. It is not very much readable. But if you use this one or this one, it is exactly the same. Doesn't matter which one you want to use. Here it is more not very much readable or friendly or understandable, but here it is more understandable. And I can show you the, for example, if I just try to open that file with the VS code. Okay, let me first of all, because I am working on another project which is related to the Flutter web development. So, what Flutter development? mobile application development. So let me quickly make a new file, new window, and in that window I want to open that. So I can just come down here and I drag the file here. So it will open, yes, open the restricted mode, and then you can see that it is not very much readable. Everything is inside the one line. It's a very, very long line. Okay, so that's why we say it is not readable or understandable in simple way. But if I open the bootstrap.js file here, and if I say open, then you can see that it is more readable. I can read the information, and then we have the function defined, we have the things defined, so it is more like a JavaScript code. But on the other side, the min file is more like they try to remove all the new lines and the white spaces and make it more smaller in size. Okay, that is the only thing that do. The similar thing is here as well. We have bootstrap.js, we also have bootstrap min.js. In min.js it is not readable, bootstrap.js is readable. Okay, so and then we can come to the I show you that you can go, you can see all those different type of styling. So we can go to docs, and here you can see that if I want to get informations about the grid, so it is the written here. If I want to get some informations about the containers, where is the container? Here we say containers. We talk about that. So all the information which I show you in my slides, they are coming from these sources. And then we also have columns, how we can put the rows and columns and things. So all these information, images, tables, so all these different styles which are present in the bootstrap in the documentation are there. But definitely I can show you some of them, but not everything I can do. Then you need to explore by yourself this documentation of the bootstrap to get some more information in which you are interested or in which you want to access more information. Okay, so let's come to the practical part. Okay, so we the practical part is mean that we want to build something, and then how we can apply that bootstrap styling on our page. So first thing is that I want to copy this bootstrap.css file, and then I am going to put that one inside in the 11 a.m. We are in the week number 5, so I will just create a week 5 folder. So I we are here. Okay, and then if I just try to open that folder here in my, so if you look at that, we don't have anything here inside our, what you can say that if I just quickly put that one here and then this one here, and then I want to close that thing. So now if you look at that in the week 5, we don't have anything. So now I want to create a new folder where I put a bootstrap folder. And now inside this folder, I want to copy. So if I go inside, now you can see that I have created the folder inside the VS Code, but it is also present in my file explorer. So here I can paste or put that bootstrap.css file. I also want to take that the JavaScript file. So let me put this one rather than the Java. I will say min one, which is the smaller in size. So again, I put the min.js file as well here. So we have copied these two files here inside our Bootstrap folder. So now here I just say that I want to create an index.html file, and I shift 1 to press enter. So now if I were say that bootstrap lab, you can say that, okay, for the practical work. So here as you remember that we need to define we need to link our HTML file with our CSS file. So there are two different ways. Number one way, the first way is that you can come down here inside the download part, okay, and then either you can copy this link from here, you can copy this link. I can just try to copy both of them, and then you can come down here inside, and then you can put your uh, let me make it a little bit smaller. So now you can see that I have this link which is an href, and then it is taking us to the the bootstrap file. So here, look at that, they are also using the bootstrap.min.css file, and then they also putting some rel, it's a style sheet integrity, they are putting something over there anonymous, so we don't need to worry about that part. But here, so we are creating a link between our html file and the css. And now if I just come down here, and then for example, I put a container, put a div, okay, and then I say class container, and then inside I put an h1, and then I say bootstrap practice. Okay, so now if you can see that when I save it, it automatically try to make these things. And then we can also say alt z, so that we can see all the code within our, what you can say, that the screen. Okay, so it will know, it will wrap up. So if you can see that this is a wrapped up thing, it does not have, it is a line number 8 which should go out, but when I say wrap it, so it will show me all the color, all the page inside. So here I can say I can want to go live. So when I go live, so again I just try to put this thing here. So now you can see that inside this um browser we have only one, so it is automatically apply that specific container. If I just try to container dash fluid, fluid, no, fluid fluid. Now we need to see what is the, okay, how we can confirm that thing. Again, I come back here, I go to the container customs options, containers, and then we have two types of the container, container dash fluid, fluid. We need to make sure we are writing the right spelling for that one. So as soon as I save it, now you can see that, I mean, let me undo it and then save. So now you can see that leaving some space, of the margin around that container. If I put the container, like I say, I put a style, I just put a style so that we can see we have a border 2 pixels, and then I say uh, dashed, and then the red color. Okay, so now you can see that we have, this is the container where it is leaving the space from the left side and margin, leave some margin from the left and right. But when I say dash fluid, as you can see that it does not leave the margin from the left and right of the screen, so it is covering the full page of the, so that will give us the idea that how, what is the difference between the fluid and the container. So if I say container, it leaves some space from the left and right but does not leave any space from the top or the bottom side. So what else we want to, I mean, we have a lot of different, so we, right at the end, we talk about the forms and then form validation. Okay, so let's try to make, what you can see, we have a div, and inside the div I put a form, and then we can apply that class was validated. So we can always go back to the slides and check this thing. Yes, was validated, that is the, and then we can close the form, and inside the form I can try to put that, again I put a label, and then inside the label we say for, then we say it is for username, and then we can say that it is a class, then we say it is a form dash label, and then we can put the, for example, username. Okay, so now you can see that we have this username coming in, and then we need to put the another thing, which is the input field. So we say input, and then we say type is equal to, for example, text. Okay, and then we can say the class is equal to form dash control, and then we say id is equal to, I mean, this id, for value, and this one should be exactly the same, so we can put this one here, and then we can say we have the placeholder, placeholder, it will show you some information inside. So I say enter username. Okay. And then I we also need to specify the name property. We can say user underscore name. That is the and then it is required, look here, read only, required. So this is a required field. When I put that one, and as soon as I give here, so now you can see that it is giving me by default, because we did not put any kind of information inside, we did not fill that field yet. So it is a required field, so it must be filled, number one thing. And then we can also define those the feedbacks, which is in case of the valid feedback or the in, so we say div, and then say class, and then I am putting that it is a valid feedback, and then I put the valid or okay, okay, and then we can also okay. So when I do that, so still it is giving me the red one because it is telling me that you need to fill this information. So as soon as I put something here, now you can see that it show me that specific what you can say that the feedback which is given in here. Okay, so we can also show the uh, invalid feedback, or say class, and then I say invalid feedback, and then here I can say please fill the username. And as soon as I do that, and I when I save it, it refresh my page. So now you can see that it is telling me that you need to fill the username. Okay, so if I put that one over there, I mean, I, for example, my name, so then it will tell me that the this field is okay. Or we can also say something like that, we don't want to show anything. For example, if I do that, uh, mm, I remove these valid feedback, then when I put something here, it tell me this one. So again, if you look at that, does not tell me what is a problem. Or I mean, here if it is telling me that there is something wrong, you need to this form field is not valid, but it does not tell me why it is not valid. So maybe I can just I can just put one thing rather than I just say that only the invalid feedback will appear, and then once it is filled or valid, or the validation has been successful, then they just say tick mean that we don't need to worry about it, everything is okay here. Okay, so this is the one thing. What else we can see here? The other thing that I want to highlight here, so we have put the link here using the online, absolute path for where on the internet that bootstrap.css file exists over there. Okay, so we can also change that path to the local files. And how we can do that? I can just delete that thing, and then I say my bootstrap file is in the bootstrap folder, and then we have the css file. So if I click on it, that, so it will show me this one. So now again, if I just save it, so it will do the same thing. No, it is not doing it. Okay, I mean, we are putting the css file, style sheet, integrity. We don't need to, just try to remove this thing. It is a link. Yep. So I think that that is something wrong with these information integrity and all. So it is trying to make sure that the files which is coming from the internet, they have the properly downloaded, and then they are not changed by. So if I just remove that part, and then it is working perfectly as we designed. Okay, so we don't need that extra properties in that link. The other thing that I want to highlight here, I mean, this actually this behavior that is a valid or invalid, that is coming from this bootstrap file. And then this bootstrap file, it should not be here. Sometime it create problems, not but not always. So we always put that link between our html file and the bootstrap javascript code is here. So here, what we are doing, we are putting this source. We have a script, and then we are specifying the source, which from where we can find that javascript file, where that exists on the internet. If we are putting the on the internet using the cdn, then we need to give the absolute address. But right now, if you look at into our bootstrap folder, we also have this main.js file, so we can link to this one as well. Again, I just try to say Bootstrap, not here, in here, I say Bootstrap, and then here we have this min.js file, and then of course this integrity part, checking that the file has been downloaded successfully or not. Let me save it, but this should, I mean, we don't need these properties here as well. And then I just control S, and then again it is doing the same thing for me. So whenever we are creating the link between our HTML file and the CSS files, or the Bootstrap file, the bootstrap.css link always comes in the header, but the JavaScript link, we normally, we it is recommended that we always put that link right at the end, just before the body. So just to, because we are talking about a script tag, so whenever we are, writing our own JavaScript, we will write all the JavaScript inside the script tag here. For example, if I say alert, uh, if I just do that, alert from the ja- j- uh, JavaScript code, okay, and as soon as I save it, it will show you an alert on your page. And I save it, okay, so it is coming up. No, it is not coming up. It should work. Let me check what's the problem is. Okay, so we are saying that alert, I mean, Windows dot alert. I mean, okay, so look here, it is telling me that there is an alert from the JavaScript code coming in, but normally we don't need that window part. Okay, maybe I'm writing the wrong spelling. Let me check. We can just always, yeah, we look here, we are say alert. Control Z. So here we are not putting the right spelling for the alert here. So when I say ALERT, alert properly, and then refresh my page, so it will, if I just refresh my page again, it will show me that alert as well. So we don't need the windows for that one, but yes. So this is a simple, the JavaScript code. So whenever we are writing the JavaScript code, it always comes inside these script tags, opening and closing tag. And then if we are specifying the link to an external file, which is also a JavaScript file, which also use the script code, and then we specify the source or the location of the external file. So that is all good. What else we have? So let me go to the start of the styles, and we can see what we can do. We can try to use. Okay, so let me put what you can say, that we have this div, we have this form. So let me put here an h1, or maybe I can put the h2. Remember that we have, whenever we are changing, we have this auto rename tag. So that's why it automatically renaming. So this is form validation example. So here you can see that again, it is giving me that alert again and again. So let me remove that one, making it a, the comment. Okay, so it's a form validation example. Then we want to put a few things. Let me change that to fluid. Okay, so it is covering the full page, number one thing. And then I want to put another, what you can say, that section. And inside this section, we have the H3. And then here we say uh, grid system. Okay, so we are putting a grid system. And then maybe I can put the styles on that one. So I mean, I on this section, I want to apply a certain style, that I want to change the background color of that one. So what I can do, I can come to my files. I have these, so I create another folder here. We call it a CSS folder. And inside, no, I don't want to make the CSS folder inside the Bootstrap. I want to move it outside. Yes, please move it. And now you can see that it is not inside the Bootstrap. Inside the CSS folder, I want to create a new file. For example, style.css. And inside, I am putting the section, and then I am writing the background color. and then let me make this background color like this. So as soon as I do that, I need to link this file as well with my HTML file. So I say create a link, and then here I say CSS and then style.css. As soon as I do that, now you can see that we have this one. Let me put one more thing here. I want to put some padding around it. So padding is the empty space inside the element around, so I say 50 pixels. So when I do that, so 50 pixels is I think too much, so we can just simply say 20 pixels. So now you can see that we have a grid system. So inside that grid system, I want to create the rows and the columns. Okay. So rows and column, we are here in this section. So here I say we have a div, and then we say class. Class is a row. Okay. And then inside the row class, I have put a div, and then I say that class is equal to um, column dash small, or maybe I say large dash 3. So it is trying to cover, it will create, and then I put something. This is the first column. Okay. And as soon as I say no, column dash large, where is my, I save it. Yeah, okay, I didn't save it. So now you can see that I have this column. So on this column, I also want to apply some extra styling so that we can see the border of that one. So if I just come down here and then I say col dash border, and then I say border styling. So I say 2 pixels, and then I say it should be the solid line, and then it should be what color should be blue. Let's see. Okay. So now what I can do, if look, I have defined, look, I first of all, I put a dot here. So I want to define this border. Okay. So I defined this specific class inside my file, inside my our own CSS file. So if I want to apply that style on this div, then I can just simply say col dash border. When I do that, you can see that by default it is covering the full screen because it is the only column. Even we are saying that on the large it is 3. So if I just try to make another thing, it is the second column first of all. So when I do that, so it is say that, look, it is saying that large. So it is a column on the large screen. But if I say it on the medium, no, let me put the small. Okay, so now you can see that because okay, let me show you one more thing. We are putting on the medium, they are coming in the two columns. But when I try to make that bigger, so when the size of that screen is about medium, so it will become the two columns rather than one column. On the large screen, on the smaller screen, they are saying that we are not, or because this screen is small, and then we are saying that there will be two columns unless and until we are medium or the bigger one. Okay, so medium or the large or the extra large or the extra extra large, it will show you two columns. But if the size of the screen is less than the medium, then they will not become the two columns. They will becomes the two rows. I mean, they are going in the next line. You can say that. So as soon as I put this thing here, as soon as it moves from in the medium range, then it will continue to have these two columns. Okay, but when if this size is small, then definitely because this size is small, let me put something like this, and then you can say that I mean we can see, we can't see these two columns. I mean, if I decide is small, so that is the the beauty of the responsiveness of these designs. They, I mean, if the size based on that one, but if I put this one like small, it means that we are putting this, that it means that we are saying that the size is small, then show the two columns, and then if the size is smaller or bigger, then show two columns. So now it is showing me. But if I just one more thing, because if I just remove that size from here, then we can save it. Then again it is a very very small, or the extra small size. Now again you can see that it is still showing me that what you can say that still show me that two columns, because we are specifying in the smallest screen size you should have the two columns. So let me take to the medium or the small. Okay, so we are still seeing this. So now if I just try to make more columns, like up to three columns, they will show me like this is the third and this one is the fourth. And then if I just try to make one more column here, because now it is going, if the total number of the columns becomes 13, okay, or 15 actually. So up to first four columns is total is 12. So they will show in the same row. But as soon as I make the extra column, which is above the 12, then it say no, I can't put that column in the same line. I had to go into the next line. So we are still in the same row, but actually the last column is going so into the next row. So it is now it is your responsibility as a designer that when you are designing it, you need to make sure that we can also say something like this: I want this one to 4, this one to 2, and this one to again. So now you can see that this first column is covering the four uh, columns of the grid, that by default Bootstrap divided the whole screen into the 12 equal columns. So the first column is covering the 4, second one is covering for 2, and the third one is covering the 3. And we can also say something like this, like 6, and then I can just try to remove that thing here. So that is, so now you can see that we have three columns and they are all of different sizes. So this is something which, of course, we want to display some proper information rather than just simple text over there. So we are trying to organize our elements, our different HTML elements into different sizes into a specific grid layout that we can display. Okay, so this is the one thing, the first thing. Let me see, we call it a bit responsive. We have a typography, heading small. That is, we can also change the text color here. For example, we say text dash primary. When I do that, so you can see that the text color is changing. For the other one, I just use the text warning, so you can see that it is changing the color of the text. So we say text dash um, success. So you can see that the color is changing. If I want to change the background color here, maybe I can say that light blue and do that. So you can see that one. Okay. If I want to apply the style on the full page, I want to this light blue color comes as the background of the full page. How, what I need to do in that style property or style section, style class? Who can tell me? Anyone who can tell me? Or everybody is sleeping? People comes in on the screens. Who can tell me
It's
that
the
I want to change the background color of the full, page? What I need to do inside our style file?
maybe in the style file, sir. We can do like a s- uh, like a bracket where we name the background color.
Background color. So we need to specify this background color. So where I need to specify this background color? That's what I'm asking.
Maybe we can name the specific file
Sorry.
star. The specific file, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm in the CSS file. I want to apply. This is our page, and I want that this whole page will become that color, light blue color, background color. What
Maybe
I need to
what
do?
star?
Sorry,
A star?
star. If I don't want to star, because star is something universal, it will apply that style to everyone. Why just want that page? So if you look at that, where is this page?
Inside the body.
Inside the body. If I apply a style on body, that will apply. So I can just come down here. I make another, for the body, I want to make a style and then change, put the background color. So now you can see that it is applying this background color. If I say that I again come down here and here I say light cyan or some maybe light green or the light gray color. So for this grid or for this one where I'm showing the rows and columns, then it is like this. And if I want to make one more row here, what I need to do, I just create one more row here, div, and then I say class row, and then inside I am putting maybe some columns here, um, div class column dash maybe I say large. Only on the large screen it show me the column. Okay, so when I do that and then I say one and I save it, so it is the column which is covering the full. And then I can also try to make that style for the border color. So I also put that column dash border, and then you can see that it is covering the full screen. If I just try to make one more, then it will go to the new line. And why it is going to new line? Because we are saying that we should have three columns in case the size of the screen is large, and right now the large size screen is not large. So if I just try to move it to the make it larger, so now you can see that it is coming three columns. Okay, so what I'm saying that when we specify this property here large, we are saying that we want to see three columns inside the screen when the screen size is large or bigger, large or more. But when I say something like this, MD, or here I also the medium, again I say medium, then we are saying that not MF, it MD. So MD mean that we are saying that we want to see three columns when the size of the screen is medium or bigger. But on the smaller, it will not show me. And then again, as soon as our size of the screen will become medium, it will change this behavior to three columns. Yeah, you can see that. So our design is actually responsive based on the screen size. Okay, so what else we can do? Let's come back to the screen sizes. We also have tables, we can specify some tables. So let me make a table here. I create another section here. I'm just trying to create sections so that we have different sections. Again, H3, and then it is a table practice. And we will apply the bootstrap style. So we say table. Inside the table, we have the um, T head, and inside the T head, we have a TR, and inside the TR, we have a TH. Not this one, it should be TH, smaller. And then we say, for example, ID value, and then we make a copy of this one. I say name, then we also put the department. Okay, so now if you look at that, I just put that department, and then this one, I didn't put any, what you can say that I say T body, and then I put one here TR, and then inside the TR I say put TD, and then I make three columns inside that second row, which is inside the body, and then I put the ID value 1, Abbas, department IS, and then save it. So now you can see that it is a simple table, which is a by default, no border. Based on the contents, it automatically have the size of each column. And now if I just come back here inside the table tag, and then I say I want to apply the class table. As soon as I save it, now you can see that it changed the background color, it make the bottom border, and then it also make it more appropriate sizing. Okay, so I just apply that table style from the bootstrap. And then if I say something like this, for example, table dash striped, you can see that the or even colors. If I just try to make more rows here, you know I just try to make two, and then we have Ali, and then he's in the CS department. Now you can see that, so I just try to make one more here as well. So I say three, and then we have brother, and then he is from the SC department, software engineering. So we have these. Uh, so now you can see that. So it is a table dash striped. Then remember we also have table dash over. So now when I bring my cursor, I mean, table dash over, I suppose, yes. Yeah, when I bring my cursor on it, it changed the background color. Here, the background color is already dark, so it does not highlight that thing, doesn't make any difference. But when I bring out on the other, it is show me that I am highlighting this thing. So this is a table dash over. We can also say table dash dark. When I do that, so you can see that it is making the, you know, it is apply all these styles. It is a table, it is a dark table, it is a stripe table, alternate rows has different background color. And then when I bring my cursor on some row, it is highlighted with changing in the background color. We can also apply the style. For example, in this row, I want to make the class table dash danger, that professor is in the danger. So you can see that it is changing the background color for that specific row. If I just say that I want to only change the background color for a specific column or specific cell, then I need to apply the class table dash success. So you can see that. So it apply only on that one. So again, these are the color background color styles which has been defined in the so you can apply wherever you want. Okay. So this is another styling properties. Okay. We talk about this one. Then we also see the tables. Then we have a striped rows, border row, hover, dark. Okay. Contextual classes. We have seen that one. Then we also have the images. Okay. So what we can do, we need some image. So let me go and find some image. Riyadh, huh? When I click on that, I want to go into the images. And which image? Maybe I can just try to take that image. No, yeah, it is coming up. It is a big image. So I will just try to save that image. Save, copy the link address, save link as. Let me see. It is coming. Where is coming? Yeah, here it is coming. So I will put that one inside the. So we have the 11 a.m. week 5, and here I just create a images folder, and inside the images folder, why it is document? It will be all files. Okay, so actually it is. Let me. I want to copy that image, and now right now, if I look into my Bootstrap file, we have yeah, here. If I just go above, we have the image folder. Now I just paste it here. No, does not allow me to do that. So let me make it a bigger. And now I want to save image as. So we want to save image as, and I need to put it inside the V5 images, and then this is a JPEG file. So I say Riyadh. Okay. So when I put the name over there, so let me put it back over there and make it like this so that we can see our images here. Let me make it a little bigger. And then if you look at that inside the images folder, we also have the Riyadh image. Okay. So now I try to make another section after the grade part. I put another section. So we are dividing our page into the multiple sections where we are discussing, or we are practicing different type of the tags or the different type of styles. Okay, so here we say image styles practice. So we save it. So we have that image styles. Okay, so this is the image style here. And now I want to put that image here. So I say image, and then I say source, and then I say we have images, and then we have Riyadh. And then if I just put that one, I didn't say put any kind of a styling here. So when I do that, So now you can see that it is a very big image, full size is coming in, and then it is showing me that one. But if I put some styling here, which is coming from the, so we say class, we say rounded. When I do that, so now you can see that these corners are rounded, the style size is still bigger. So I can also come down here and then I say width, I will say that 80%. So I just trying to say that cover the width of the page 80%. So when I do that, so now you can see that it is coming here. So now it is more like full width of the page, it is covering only 80% of that one. So here, if I just say rounded, it is like this. If I say rounded dash circle, then it will become more like a circular part. And if I say something like that, image dash thumbnail, so let me, what you can say that I will just try to make this image more copies of this one. Here we have the rounded. So you can see that we have rounded and the circular. Then I also put another copy of this one. Uh, and then here I change that class from the image dash thumbnail. So img, when I do that, so now you can see that, so it's a different ones. We can also say it is a floating right, so we can say that we can put that one, so it's a class float start. So I just try to, I mean, this one, the first one, I want to that it will float towards the right. So I say uh, float dash end. When I do that, so now you can see that it is moving to the right side. By default, it is on the left side. And the other thing is that if I try to make the sizes of these images very, very small, for example, 40%, and then also 40%, they will come inside the same, these two images come in the same place. And then I am saying that float to the end to the first one. So look at that. This is actually first. And if I don't put that one here, then and save it. So this image, which is the rounded one, it will come first and then the circular one. But when I put the float dash end, it is going to the end of the page or to the right side of the page. So it is, overriding that specific default behavior. And the other thing is we can make this one of the images as a block level, because by default they are inline, so they are sharing the same line, the same width of the screen, they are in the same space. But if I just try to make this circular one, or maybe I put this one as the d dash block. Okay, let me check what's the. Okay, we also need to apply certain other style. Mx dash auto, and then save it. I think this does not allow me to. Let me check this thing. Okay, so now if I just say d dash block without any other thing, then it is actually making that a block level. But what is the rounded? When I do that, yeah, still it is applying that block level. But okay, when we apply the float to the end, float dash end, then it is a conflict between the block level and the end float, so it is not applying that one. But if I say this thing, then it is actually applying the so it is making that image a block level image, and it will not allow any other image or any other text or the things to come in that place. Okay, so these are few things about the images. We also talk about alert and then dismissible alert. Okay, so let me show you dismissible alert. Okay, let me where I can put. Okay, let me put inside the after the div, after the columns. So I say I want a div, and then we have the class. It is alert, and then I say alert dash success, and we can show something like this. So here I can put what you can say that I just let me copy this thing from here and put it here. Let me remove that. So when I do that, so now you can see that we have this one. So I want to make this alert dismissible. So then we have alert dash dismissible. So again, it does not show me that button yet. So what we need to do, we need to put that button, which is actually show me that. So we say type is equal to its button, and then we say class, it is btn, and then dash close, and then we say data dash bs dash uh, dismiss. Okay, and that will be equal to alert. So we are telling that we want to dismiss, so we can just close it down. So now I have this one. So now, if actually what we are saying here, we say that it is an alert success dismissible. If I just change that success to uh, warning, then it will change the background color, and then we are showing some text on it. Okay, and then uh, we are putting, we also apply the style that dismissible. Okay, and then we are putting a this button here, which is the I mean button, then we say btn close. So btn close mean that it will put that cross button forward there, and then we are saying b data dash bs, not bd, it should be bs. Okay, and then we say dismiss, then it will dismiss. When I click on it, it is disappearing, and when I refresh my page, it will come back again. So now let me show you, if I don't put the link between our html page and the bootstrap javascript file, then it will create this thing. And then you can see that if I just save it, we are already running out of the time. When I click on that, it does not work. So that's all for today. I hope that you have enjoyed. We already took a lot of time above that specified time. So that's thank you very much.